Today we're cruising through the little colony of Olivenhain. We made a whole video on it. We still don't know how to say it. Cassie's lived here for a long time. How do we say it?
Oh, we say Olivenhain.
Olivenhain it is. That's where we are today. We're gonna cruise through, show you neighborhoods, things to do. It's a small little section here in the eastern portion of Encinitas. Let's get into it right now. Howdy, howdy, I'm Chris Erickson.
And I'm Cassidy Lewis.
And we are realtors here in North County, San Diego, and this is where you come for all things North County. We're dropping new videos every single week, neighborhoods, things to do, everything in between. And if this is your first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when we drop our new videos.
If you're thinking about a move to San Diego, definitely hit us up, call, text, email. We're getting reach outs all the time. We love helping people move to San Diego. Today we are gonna get into Olivenhain, the more rural section of Encinitas. We're gonna take a look at neighborhoods. We're gonna look at things to do, places to go. Let's get into it right now.
So we're starting our journey right here at the Olivenhain Meeting Hall. It's like this super old building here. If you're coming from like anywhere East Coast, you're like, yeah, that's not that old. This is probably like 100 and something years old, but this is like our old history. In San Diego, we don't really have any of that super old stuff. It's a fairly new kind of city, town, everything up here. When the people first moved up to Olivenhain and kind of made it like this farming community, which it kind of still has that flavor, a lot of these really big properties, really big homes, a lot of custom places out here, and that's what we're kind of cruising through and going to show you all around here today.
So I grew up out here in Olivenhain, spent most of my youth years out here, and loved it. This is definitely a spot if you have kids that love being outside, or you yourself want to be outside. There's a ton of hiking, there's a ton of trails, there's horseback riding, there's a ton of biking.
So right now we're cruising down Lone Jack, which is the main road that kind of goes way back into Olivenhain. It actually like almost touches at the very far end like Escondido, which is, you think of Escondido super inland, but they kind of border each other at the way east end of that. It's a main road you cut off to go all of these little neighborhoods, some gated, some not, all the custom houses back here. When you think of Olivenhain, give us 3 words that describes it.
Privacy, land, and custom.
And that's what you get most of this out here. There's custom or semi-custom, these really beautiful houses.
Most of the homes too in this area are on 2+ acres. So you get a lot of space, a lot of land.
One of the, hi buddy, horses in the background here. One of the things about being out here in this kind of rural setting of Olivenhain, so you are kind of a little bit far from everything, but we'll show you, not too far. We'll show you in a little bit kind of the convenience and shopping and all that kind of stuff. But one of the killer things is there's a lot of these horse properties out of here. So you can see the ponies behind us. Is that the right terminology?
I think it's horse.
It's horse. So you can see some of the horses behind us. We're walking on one of the horse trails. It's just actually a trail that's maintained by the city of Encinitas, but you'll see a lot of horses cruising through here. One thing to be aware of if you are cruising around on any of these trails, watch out for the horse poop. There's quite a bit of it back here. We've missed it a few times.
And part of Olivenhain's big draw is this equestrian lifestyle out here. There are a ton of properties that have horses, and then there's a bunch of opportunities if you want to ride horses. There's spots here you can get to do that too.
Right now we're standing at Lake Valsereno. It's like the only townhomes out here in Olivenhain, right on the border. We're looking right over here is like Rancho Santa Fe. Right behind us is like the rural bigger house, bigger lots, all that stuff is like right around here. But this little cutout is a nice little area here. It's quiet. It's kind of like, it reminds me like a little mountain town. It's got these big pine trees and stuff here. Cassie actually sold a house in here a few years ago, and I held it open, and in the backyard there's just big open space, killer views back there, but saw some deer cruising around. So that's kind of the feel out here and the vibe out in this this little area of Olivenhain. Not very many people even know this little neighborhood exists. It's really, really cool spot if you're looking for that mix of privacy, affordability in Encinitas, which is not the easiest thing to find. There used to be a lake here back and it was a man-made lake in the 70s, and in the early 80s the dam broke and they decided not to repair it, so all the lakefront properties, including properties in this community, no longer were right on the lake. One of the things I really love about out here in Olivenhain is the number of trails that are out here. We're walking down and we're actually on the side of the road, and it's for horses. It's for anybody living out here. They're public, so it's kind of for anybody who wants to get out here and enjoy the trails. A lot of them run along the roads like this, but once you cut in, you can kind of get lost in some of these trails back there and cruise around and see some of these neighborhoods from like very new vantage points and get some exercise. There's a lot of hills out here. Now back here in Olivenhain, there are a handful of parks. Right here is like a horse park. It's called Little Oak. So you could bring your horses out, your trailers, park right here on the lot. Back there, there's a little corral to kind of cruise them around. With a lot of this land and stuff out here, you have a lot of landscaping, you have all this acreage and, you know, land to take care of. It is expensive not only to build and put in place, but also maintain. So you'll see at a lot of houses, they'll landscape kind of just around the house, maybe an acre of the 2 acres, and then leave the rest of it kind of natural and kind of just open. We did mention that most of Olivenhain is more of that custom house feel, but there are a few planned developments. There's Country Rose, which is definitely a tract neighborhood. High-end, 2-acre properties, but definitely a tract neighborhood. And then there's a couple others, Knightsbridge, and a couple others sprinkled around, but for the most part, they're either custom or semi-custom. One other thing about that little town center, that's like we were saying, it's used to be the main meeting area for all the residents here, and it kind of still is. They still have events there throughout the year. They have like the Oktoberfest, they have some concerts in there, and a handful of other events throughout the year. We are standing at one of the gates here at Wildflower, which is one of the most exclusive communities in Olivenhain. Definitely the highest price point, really great views, all custom houses. A bunch of really, really large houses, like 6,000 square foot plus homes. A lot of opportunity for outdoor space, outdoor living, pools, sports courts, kind of everything you want. There's a big horse facility right at the bottom of Wildflower. So if you're looking for a lot of space and a huge house, this is definitely one of the good spots here in Olivenhain. And there's actually still a few lots left in here which you can come in, buy. Even the lots are like 2 million plus, but it's kind of crazy. But come in and build your own beautiful custom house up here. If you find yourself at the corner of Encinitas Boulevard and Rancho Santa Fe heading out of Olivenhain, there's this little open lot and you might see these guys taking off sometime. It's a jumping off spot for the hot air balloons. There's another one, I don't know if you can see it back there somewhere. Took off a little earlier, but you will see it. I don't even know where they go. I've just seen them take off like 100 times. So there aren't a ton of shops and restaurants and things right here in Olivenhain, but there is the Levicchio's right here, 7-Eleven,
A couple other spots in this center here. An easy spot to grab a sandwich if you're in town. And then we're gonna go to the next center over, which is a spot for groceries and things like that. And now we're in the closest center for Olivenhain. This also kind of feeds into Rancho Santa Fe as well. We've got Harvest Ranch Market behind us. Really great sandwiches, really good selection for meats and fish and things like that too. So a really good market.
Compared to like your normal grocery stores, your Vons, your Ralphs, all that kind of stuff, this is gonna be a little more expensive. The whole store is a little more specialty. And right in this center too, there's a few restaurants. There's a nice little Italian spot. It's actually where the first time I met this dude over it's Firenze.
It's great Italian food. Definitely hard to read the menu because everything's in Italian, but really, really great food. Good people that work there, so definitely a spot to check out.
And then one other spot you should check out, it's Meritage Wines right here. A little local wine shop here. They have a wine machine where you can pay by the ounce, go have a little wine tasting with the wife, hang out, and then get a bottle of wine to go. So there you go, that's Olivenhain right on the edge. I mean, it is Encinitas, but technically its own vibe, its own feel. If you're looking for small houses and tiny lots, this is not the place for you. This place is spread out. It's kind of that rural feel. It's that equestrian feel. It's tucked away in the back part of Encinitas. We did show you actually traffic going out. There's only two ways in and out. You can come in on Encinitas Boulevard or on the other side of Olivenhain Boulevard, turns into Leucadia back there. But so during those rush hours, it does get packed coming from like 7-Eleven all the way through. Just one thing to think about, not a huge deal, but there's a ton of trails back there and there's not a lot of, like we said, commercial or retail, that kind of stuff. We're in one of the little centers right in front of us here. Other than that, there's not much, but just on the other side, El Camino Real, it's maybe a 5 or 10 minute drive to all your stores, big box stores, plus a lot of, just any of your normal stores, Targets, Home Depots, Best Buys.
Even though Olivenhain has that country feel, that rural feel, you're still a really quick drive to the beach. It's maybe 15, 20 minutes depending on where you're at in Olivenhain. And it's also super close to a bunch of really, really great restaurants Carlsbad and Encinitas have to offer. So Olivenhain is definitely a great neighborhood if you're looking for that privacy, lots of land, the custom house feel. Definitely a good option.
And if you're looking for similar areas kind of out of Olivenhain, we've done another vlog style video, and there's a little area kind of called the Ranch, and there's a few other little neighborhoods back there in Carlsbad. We'll have a link for it right above in 92009 part of Carlsbad. We actually could see it from some of the areas we were at today, so be sure to go check that out. And if you guys are thinking about moving here to North County, San Diego, be sure to hit us up. Call, text, email, whatever's easiest for you. We've been getting a ton of reach outs, and we really love helping people get that plan set up and ultimately help them relocate out here to North County.
If this is your first time, definitely hit that subscribe button. We are dropping new videos every single week on all things North County, places to go, things to do, neighborhoods, and everything in between. We definitely appreciate you following along, and we'll catch you next time.